You've probably noticed those moments when a name slips your mind for just a second longer than usual, or when the words on a page seem slightly less sharp than they used to be, and it's easy to assume that this is simply what aging looks like. But the truth is far more interesting, because many of these changes have less to do with your age and more to do with the foods you're putting on your plate. And instead of avoiding fats like many of us were taught for decades, the real solution often lies in adding more of the right ones. It may sound surprising, but your brain and your eyes are literally built from fat, and the right types can help restore mental clarity, support memory, and sharpen your vision even if you're well past 60. So think about your recent weeks for a moment. Have you noticed slower thinking, little lapses you didn't used to have, or a growing need to squint under bright lights or when reading at night? These changes are common, but they aren't always inevitable, and that's exactly why today's video matters. You're about to discover 4 fats backed by strong research that can nourish your brain the way premium fuel improves an engine, protect your eyesight from age-related wear, and support healthier aging in ways most people never hear about during medical appointments. And as you learn how these fats work inside your body, you'll begin to see food in a completely different way, not as calories, but as tools that help you stay mentally sharp and visually confident for years to come. The first fat, long-chain omega-3s, EPA and DHA. When you think about the fats your brain depends on the most, long-chain omega-3s, EPA and DHA, sit right at the top. If your brain could choose its own fuel, these would be it, because DHA alone makes up a huge part of the fatty structure inside your neurons. In other words, your brain doesn't just benefit from DHA. It's partially built from it, which is why increasing your intake often leads to clearer thinking, stronger recall, and a steadier emotional balance. These fats also play a major role in eye health, especially the parts of the retina responsible for sharp, detailed vision, making EPA and DHA some of the most valuable foods for memory and vision as you age. What makes this even more convincing is the research behind it. Studies show that older adults who include more omega-3s in their diet often experience better learning, improved memory, and stronger blood flow to the brain, all essential for slowing cognitive decline. A major meta-analysis even found that daily amounts between 1,000 and 2,500 mg can enhance cognitive speed and visuospatial skills. When people hear this, they usually realize how powerful these fats can be, especially when the goal is aging with confidence and mental sharpness. And the good thing is that you don't need complicated routines to get these benefits. 2 or 3 servings of salmon, sardines, or mackerel each week already give your body what it needs. And if you're not a big fan of fish, algae-based DHA is an easy alternative that works well for many people. The key is consistency. Omega-3s don't work in dramatic bursts but through steady long-term nourishment that supports both brain clarity and eye health nutrition. If you take blood thinners or heart medication, it's always wise to talk with your doctor before adding higher-dose supplements, but food-based omega-3s are generally safe and highly recommended. Many people who include EPA and DHA regularly notice improvements not only in vision and memory but also in energy and overall mood. And once you begin feeling those effects, it becomes easier to see how these fats create a strong foundation, one that the next category of fats can build on beautifully. The second fat, monounsaturated fats, olive oil and avocado type. Monounsaturated fats are the quiet, steady supporters your body relies on, especially as you focus on brain health after 60. While omega-3s help build and repair, MUFAs keep the system calm and balanced by supporting circulation, reducing inflammation, and helping your neurons communicate smoothly. Foods like olive oil, avocado, almonds, and pistachios are staples in an anti-inflammatory diet not because they're trendy but because they consistently protect both the brain and the eyes. When you bring these foods into your routine, you're naturally choosing vision-supportive nutrition without even thinking about it. Research from respected institutions like Harvard shows that something as simple as replacing a spoonful of margarine or mayonnaise with olive oil can reduce the risk of dementia-related death by up to 14%. That's a powerful reminder that small choices matter. MUFAs help keep blood vessels flexible, protect delicate neural pathways, and support long-term cognitive decline prevention. Because the eyes and brain rely on similar nutrients and circulation, MUFAs help maintain visual sharpness at the same time. The best part is how practical and enjoyable these fats are for everyday meals. A drizzle of extra virgin olive oil on vegetables, half an avocado added to your toast, or a handful of almonds as a snack. These simple additions help you build a diet that protects your long-term independence without demanding major changes. Many older adults appreciate how seamless these adjustments feel, especially when they're trying to incorporate multiple healthy fats like omega-3 for seniors while keeping food enjoyable. The only thing to keep in mind is portion control. Mofas are nourishing but calorically dense, so a tablespoon of olive oil or a small handful of nuts is usually enough. Once you get comfortable using monounsaturated fats, it's natural to explore another group of fats that support the brain in a more subtle but equally important way: the plant-based omega-3s that can be added to almost any meal. The third fat, plant-based omega-3, ALA, and other polyunsaturated fats. Many people assume that if they don't enjoy fish, they're missing out on all the healthy fats their brain needs, but plant-based omega-3s, especially ALA, offer a reliable and accessible alternative. These polyunsaturated fats may not be quite as potent as EPA and DHA, but they still contribute meaningfully to brain health after 60, and they fit easily into everyday routines. Chia seeds, flaxseed, walnuts, and canola oil may seem simple, but they provide steady support for memory, concentration, and overall inflammation control. You can think of ALA as the steady, everyday fuel that keeps the system going. Reviews show that diets richer in various omega-3s contribute to stronger cognition and more stable long-term brain function, making ALA an important part of cognitive decline prevention. And because the retina also responds well to polyunsaturated fats, these foods contribute to vision improvement and eye health nutrition by helping reduce inflammation and oxidative stress. The best part is how easy these fats are to use. A tablespoon of chia or ground flaxseed stirred into oatmeal, a handful of walnuts in the afternoon, or a drizzle of flaxseed oil over a salad. These are small actions that deliver surprisingly big benefits. One of the easiest ways to start is mixing ground flaxseed into applesauce with cinnamon, creating a simple snack that tastes familiar but nourishes your brain and eyes at the same time. The only thing to watch for is balance. Many diets today contain too much omega-6 from processed foods, which can overshadow the benefits of omega-3s. Using oils like olive, canola, or flaxseed in moderation helps bring your body closer to a healthy ratio, making the benefits of these fats even stronger. And once you've built this foundation of supportive fats, there's one more type that can enhance your brain's energy in a completely different way, something you'll uncover in the next section. The fourth fat, medium-chain triglycerides, MCTs, and other brain-friendly fats. There's something uniquely helpful about medium-chain triglycerides, the well-known MCTs, especially when you're focused on keeping your mind sharp after 60. While other healthy fats work steadily in the background, MCTs act quickly, giving your brain a clean burst of energy that can make thinking feel smoother and more focused. As you age, your brain may become less effective at using glucose, its primary fuel, and this is where MCTs step in, offering ketones as a ready-to-use alternative that many seniors find surprisingly uplifting. This simple shift in fuel can help you feel more mentally present, especially during those afternoon hours when fogginess tends to creep in. A comparison he likes to use is imagining your brain as a fireplace. Regular fats act like the logs, slow and steady, while MCTs behave like the kindling that catches quickly and helps everything else burn more effectively. Research supports this analogy, showing that while full ketogenic diets can be demanding, the idea behind them, giving the brain an efficient backup fuel, is extremely relevant as you age. Even a teaspoon of coconut oil stirred into warm tea or a small amount used for sautéing can provide enough support for many people to notice a subtle lift in clarity or energy. Of course, MCTs work best as part of a grounded real food approach rather than an isolated superfood. It's more effective to weave them naturally into your routine: a little coconut oil when cooking vegetables, a spoonful blended into your morning drink, or a serving of full-fat yogurt with berries and nuts. These choices feel familiar and enjoyable, helping you build an anti-inflammatory diet that supports both brain and vision without overwhelming your daily habits. And if you have cholesterol or triglyceride concerns, it's always wise to check with a healthcare professional to tailor the approach to your body's needs. What often surprises people is how these brain-friendly fats connect back to eyesight. By improving blood flow, reducing inflammation, and stabilizing the energy your nervous system depends on, they indirectly support the retina as well. And once you begin to understand this connection, the relationship between nutrition, cognition, and vision becomes much clearer, which naturally leads to the next idea that ties it all together. Why vision benefits alongside brain benefits. One of the most important things to understand is that your eyes and your brain are connected. The retina is actually part of your central nervous system, which means that the same fats that support memory, focus, and mental clarity also help sharpen your vision. When you include more omega-3s, monounsaturated fats, MCTs, or plant-based sources like walnuts and flaxseed, you're not just feeding your brain, you're nourishing the photoreceptors responsible for color, contrast, and adapting to different levels of light. The retina in particular needs DHA, one of the most important omega-3s. When your levels are low, you may notice difficulty seeing at night, trouble adjusting between bright and dim environments, or strain when reading small text. Many people feel relieved when they realize that these changes aren't just aging. They can often be improved with better nutrition. A simple way to picture this is to think of your eyes as a camera lens. When your diet is low in supportive fats, the image becomes dull and slightly cloudy. But when you give your eyes the nutrients they rely on, it's like cleaning and upgrading the lens at the same time. That's why foods rich in healthy fats are so valuable for anyone who wants to keep enjoying reading, driving, or noticing the small details of daily life. Healthy fats also help the tiny blood vessels behind your eyes by reducing inflammation and improving circulation, both of which are essential for protecting long-term vision. Conditions like macular degeneration, cataracts, and early visual decline are strongly influenced by inflammation and blood flow, which makes an anti-inflammatory diet one of the most practical ways to care for your eyes as you age. And while not every vision problem can be prevented, your daily food choices give you real influence over how your eyes and brain age together. Once you understand how powerful these fats are, it becomes easier to recognize which fats support your clarity, and which ones quietly work against it. What to avoid/fats that harm, especially when aging. As you work to protect your brain and vision, it's just as important to know which fats quietly work against you. While healthy fats support clear thinking and sharper eyesight, harmful fats slowly drain your energy and make it harder for your brain and eyes to function well. Think of your brain and vision like a garden. Nourishing fats enrich the soil, but trans fats and excess saturated fats behave like weeds that interfere with growth. Research consistently shows that these fats speed up cognitive aging and make it harder to maintain long-term clarity. You'll find these harmful fats in fried foods, pastries, fatty cuts of meat, and many packaged snacks. Saturated fats can thicken your blood and make cell membranes rigid, which disrupts the communication between neurons. Trans fats, which show up in partially hydrogenated oils, are even more damaging. They increase inflammation and interfere with your body's ability to use helpful omega-3s effectively. If you already experience slower circulation or mild forgetfulness, these foods can make those issues worse. What surprises most people is how easily these fats sneak into daily habits. A donut in the morning, a fried snack in the afternoon, or a frozen convenience meal at night may seem harmless, but repeated often, they contribute to blurry vision, slower thinking, and low energy. A simple question can change your choices. Is this food helping my brain and eyes, or working against them? That moment of awareness opens the door to healthier habits. The good news is that the alternatives are practical and enjoyable. Using olive oil or avocado spread instead of butter, choosing baked or air-fried foods, or snacking on nuts instead of processed treats supports an anti-inflammatory diet that strengthens your brain and vision. Many older adults notice better digestion, more energy, and clearer thinking within weeks of cutting back on harmful fats. The goal isn't to remove joy from eating, it's to remove the versions of foods that quietly harm your health. If you want to keep recognizing faces, reading comfortably, remembering details, and staying mentally independent, limiting these fats is one of the most powerful steps you can take. And once you see how simple these adjustments are, it becomes much easier to move toward healthier habits with confidence, not fear. Now that you know how these 4 fats can strengthen your mind and sharpen your vision, take a moment to imagine what your life could feel like with clearer thinking and steadier memory. Picture yourself reading without strain, driving with more confidence, recognizing faces instantly, or simply feeling more awake and connected throughout the day. These changes begin with small, consistent choices you now know how to make. So let me ask you, what's the first step you're going to take after this video? Will you add a serving of fatty fish this week, swap your cooking oil for a healthier one, stir seeds into your breakfast, or finally cut back on the fats that have been slowing you down? Share your answer in the comments. It might inspire someone who's facing the same challenges. If this video brought you clarity or a spark of motivation, feel free to like it and share it with someone you care about. And don't forget to subscribe and turn on notifications so you don't miss the upcoming videos that continue building your understanding of healthy aging. Before you go, there's another video on your screen now that connects perfectly with what you learned today. Click on it, and let's keep strengthening your health journey together, one smart choice at a time.